Going for boost over. Well, I think going for boost, if you're a boost merchant, like someone like AJ or someone, you go for boost.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Always, every second of every game. Ball's going in your net, don't worry about it. Go get the boost and make sure you've got the full 100 to celebrate with the other team.
Oh God. Never. Yeah, never. Always go for ball.
Yeah.
Number one rule of Rocket League.
Welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, where three aggressively average Rocket League players talk about everything RLCS with your hosts, Ace, Code Red Jack, Kyle Cube, and AJ Binky. So, if you've ever wondered when the best time to go for Boost Over Ball is, you've come to the right place.
Hello and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. On today's episode, I sit down with ReputayJen and talk everything Rocket League to Taylor Swift to ghost hunting and everything in between. This is a fantastic conversation. We really enjoyed having her on the show. So without further ado, we'll jump right into the interview. If you want to start out telling people maybe a little bit about yourself, and then we can go from there.
Yeah. Well, my name's Jen, or ReputayJen. I started streaming back in July. But like a year ago, I didn't even know like anything about streaming until I met House, who's my husband. And I kind of fell into this world of streaming and Rocket League and kind of fell in love with it. And now here I am, like obsessed with this car soccer game and streaming a few nights a week when I used to just be like full-time mom and full-time nurse. So it's been kind of a whirlwind, but it's been so much fun. And I've made like friends that I know are going to be here for probably the rest of my life. I mean, they don't have a choice at this point, but I'm just thankful and excited to be a part of this community.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the reasons I was so looking forward to talking with you. I know that for lack of a better term, you've kind of got into the deep end right off the bat, so to speak, with all the community, with the content, with car soccer. So I'm interested to hear some of your takes on some of the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel so new, and I feel like the longer you do something, the more like jaded or like negative of an opinion you can tend to have, or not negative per se, but like maybe more critical. And so I probably still have a very optimistic view and insight about Rocket League in general, and maybe relatively naive because I don't know all the ins and out of like the esports like industry in itself. So my opinions are not going to be as like probably well thought out or well versed as House's per se, but it's I just lost my train of thought like mid sentence. Sorry, all of my ADHD medicine is like it's gone now. So, but yeah, so I have opinions, but they may not be good ones. So,
hey, we're here for it, right? That's why we get to talk about it. That's why it's fun,
right? Yeah.
And we have the other two guys that I usually host with couldn't be here tonight, but we have an ongoing bet on who we thought would be the better guest.
Okay, I hope it's me.
Well, you won in the poll, so.
Oh, yay.
But
see, and I would think he would be so would win because I mean he's so charismatic and personable. So I mean I hope to prove you guys right.
he certainly is, and I've watched his content for a long time, but he's you already kind of brought up one of the reasons I was looking forward to this interview is your takes are going to be vastly different than his, just because you come from a different background. You have more like a fresher view of everything, and
for sure,
like quite honestly, I feel like there's a lot of people who need to hear that right now. I mean, it seems like Rocket League is not in a great place right now.
Yeah, I mean, I notice, everybody's been playing this for a long time and they've been streaming this for a long time, and and I know that they have, and there's a lot of stake, a lot of people who have a lot more at stake than I do in like the future of this game. Like, 'cause this is not my full-time job. And so, if they take out trading, if they don't take out trading, like at the end of the day, like that's not affecting my bank account per se. And that doesn't always affect everybody's, but like I don't have as a high stake in this game as everyone else does, or other people do. But I do. I just lost where I was going with this. Holy shit!
It's one of
Yeah,
those
I'm going to be
nights.
the worst guest. Okay, what did you ask again? And then I'll pick it up, and then you can cut out all this dumb part.
Basically, I was talking about like that. Rocket League doesn't seem to be in a great place right now. So like,
Oh yeah. Okay, so but yeah, so I totally get how like when you've been a fan of this game for so long and you see it heading in a direction that like seems like it's not going to be great, like that's so disappointing. And I mean, it's very disheartening to see something you love so much be, I don't know, like kind of pushed to the wayside. But at the same time, I think there's still a lot of fun that can be had with it. I mean, like I'm new. I'm silver. I'm silver as fuck. So like I have a long way to go and there's a long road in front of me in terms of like skill and getting better. And a lot of people are kind of at where they want to be or whatever, and so maybe they're just like, well, I've kind of done all I can with this game, and I totally get that point. But yeah, I get like the vibes in the community are kind of negative towards Rocket League right now, and that's sad because I can tell people genuinely love this game. And yeah, I like really think it comes from a place where they genuinely love this game and they're just sad to see like it taking a direction that may not be for the better. But at the same time, like they're still good with it. And I think it's also hard because RLCS isn't going on like right now, and I feel like that kind of like gives people a nice boost as well. So it's just kind of like a really down time for sure. And that's sad to see because I'm like just getting into this game, so I don't want everyone to bail yet.
yeah, no kidding. I mean, I also like you. This isn't my full time job, but I
Mhm.
have tried to make it as much a part of my life as I can. I
Yeah.
do the podcast. I coach a collegiate Rocket League team.
Oh,
I
that's awesome.
you know play as much as I can, but
Yeah.
you know it still manages to be my favorite and also most hated game of all time. Right, like nothing infuriates me
Right.
more than Rocket League
Oh my god.
because you love it so much. And it's like
Yes.
stupid
The
game trying to hit a
It's like,
ball with a car. Why am I so mad?
well, why is it so hard too? Like, why? The amount of times I have thrown a goddamn fit because I like lost a stupid game. Like, I have never been tilted in anything as much as I've been tilted by this game. And I am a 32-year-old woman, a mother of two, and I've like gotten so mad at Kevin. Like, I won't speak to him for an hour. Not He didn't do anything wrong. I lost a game, but it's his fault because like he introduced me to this game, right? So
Oh
like it
yeah,
all goes back
100%.
to him. So I'm gonna blame it on him, and so he gets the backlash for sure. But yeah, I know it's like I love this game, and it is so tilting. But oh my god, like I think one thing is like something I've noticed, and I've been talking to Kevin about recently, is like he was playing that game, the finals, for a while when it was just in its beta in the last couple weeks, and like had so much fun. He's like, I remember like I forgot what it feels like to love a game again. And it just reminded me of like I've been a nurse. I'm coming up on my 10th year of being a nurse.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And you know, when you do something for that long, like people have played this game for what, like it's been out what, like 7-8 years
Yeah,
is
eight
what
eight years now,
I
coming up on
yeah.
9ish, I think.
Yeah, that's a long time to be playing a game. And if people have been like, this is their full-time job, like streaming and whatever for several years, I mean, that's a long time. And I feel like it's also very normal to get like burnt out on something. And this, and especially when things like this happen, when like big changes happen, like that just like exacerbates the burnout. And I say that just because as a nurse, I've noticed, in my own career, like I've seen, like I've felt that way um, about my job. Like I just get so burnt out from just like doing it every single day, day in and day out. And I feel like that's kind of what seems to be going on too with a lot of people. Like I think that it's like probably good to just take a little break. Like I know a lot of people are like streaming more variety, and I think that that's really good, probably like mental health wise, and just maybe to help them like get back into the game, because it's hard to do one thing for a long time, and especially when things aren't going that well, like, or they perceive things aren't going that well with a game. Like, I think that just makes it harder. Like, it makes the burnout worse. Like, COVID, like, really messed all of us up as nurses. Like,
Oh.
if you were burnt out a little bit, like, COVID made it worse. So that's just kind of what I recognize, like, how I kind of relate it, like, see what's going on in the Rocket League community. Like, just seems like there's probably a lot of burnout going on too, which is totally normal. And, like, you got to do what you got to do for your mental health, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good point too. Like, I mean, at least for me, like I go on vacation or I play another game for a little bit and I come back and like
Yeah,
it's like refreshing to come back to
it
Rocket League.
is. Yeah. Like I switch, like, every couple years, I'll like, do something different in nursing, because nursing is just a field where you can literally, with 1 degree, you can do any kind of nursing essentially, and jump to another type and like get trained in that and do that. And then when that gets boring, you can switch to something else. So I've felt really burnt out at my job lately. And so I'm about to change jobs here in a couple weeks. And every time I do that, it like kind of reinvigorates the like passion I have for it, I guess. But like I just have a different perspective from like it's doing the same thing, but like, just taking a break and doing it a different way, I guess. So yeah, taking a break is good. And I think I don't think people talk about burn. I'm sure people do not talk about burnout in the like content creation, like esports industry. Like I,
Definitely not as much
I'm
as they should.
yeah, right. And it's something that happens regardless of what career you're in. And so I think that that needs, that should be something that people, it's hard to recognize, or it's not hard to recognize, but I mean like that just seems to be like what the vibe I get is, like people are burnout. That's totally cool. Like to play a different game and like, take a break. It'll be here when you get back.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, also too, like you look at like on Twitter and you see people that are, like I think I'm gonna try starting to stream like a more variety of games. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from Rocket League. It's
Yeah.
the people who have achieved the goals that they want, right? It's usually like pretty
Exactly,
high level
right?
ranking players where
Exactly.
they got their SSLs, they got their extra mode titles, they've done
Yeah.
everything that they want to do. So like the thing that brings them back is like the limited time modes, like
Yes. Like
creator
a new
tournaments.
challenge.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so for the people who haven't hit, like for me, like I've been on the grind this season and been working with some people trying to get better because I enjoy getting better at the stupid
Yes.
car soccer game.
Yeah.
But there's still room to achieve more things, right? But like
Yeah.
like Tryhouse especially, he plays a lot of hoops, right? He's just
Mhm.
fantastic at it. He's achieved everything that is in the game
Yeah.
for him for that.
Yeah. So yeah, it makes total sense why, like, after that, and if they're not adding more to the game, then I mean, where do you go from there? Like, how do you keep the passion and desire to play that game alive when like you've hit probably all of the goals that you want to hit in the game, or you like hit them, every season? Then, like where do you go from there? And I totally get that. That's kind of the trend I notice when I've like am getting tired of a job. It's kind of like, well, I've kind of done all I can do here. Like I take the sickest patients. I charge. I check the boxes of the things I wanted to do at this job. And it's like, well, I did these things, and it makes it harder to tolerate changes or lack thereof. Like no changes being made. Just because you're like, well, if I'm not really enjoying this, or they're not doing more for this, and there's no way else I can achieve, like I need to move forward. So I totally get that. I mean, I would feel the same way, honestly, if I was like a high ranking player. And after a while, you just kind of, you know, you did it all.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think about like a lot of the pros, right? And like they're pros who are, putting 40, 50 hours a week in every
Yes.
week for the past, you know, years, right?
Yeah.
Like, some people, like, the tactical banditry tournament just happened, and I have some friends that have teams in there, and one of the kids that I know is, I put in like 80 hours every 2 weeks for the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Gosh.
well, I mean, that's awesome for you, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it and improving. But like at some point, like, take a break, like enjoy yourself a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's not going anywhere, hopefully.
Yeah,
and
no,
and it'll be here when you get back. And yeah, that's just like that's the path to burnout. You gotta take a break for sure.
yeah.
Just to recognize what you got.
And to your point, you said earlier, I also think that a lot of the negativity is coming out right there because right now because there's not a whole lot else to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, RLCS isn't going on. There's nothing like else in the Rocket League community happening. So the taking away trading, like what else? Like there's nothing else to talk about
and it's like
and
that in Lightning
or to
McQueen.
focus on. Exactly, Lightning McQueen taking away trading. Like that's it. So I don't know, like what would be. I'm still new to all this, so you know, save like bringing trading back. Like I don't know what would like re-inspire like positivity within the community, but we got to think of some stuff to do off season
No
to
kidding.
limit the drama. We got to I don't know if it's like tournaments or some kind like there people do a lot of tournaments like with different content creators and stuff, but like maybe more of that specifically in the off season or with like higher stakes, not like money per se, but like I know they just did the like energy just did their thing and that's cool, but
Yeah.
it's something bigger, something more. We need more.
I mean, I think that, like, I mean, we talked about this with Tryhouse a little bit too, but like, like any communication would be a welcome,
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
a
that's the
welcome thing.
biggest thing. Yeah.
And
You
like,
got to have that.
realistically, how hard would it be for them to sponsor like a tournament in game, like at a certain
Mhm.
time, and then the winner gets a special title?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I feel like that
Just
would be very
like
easy to do.
something. Yeah.
And then you can have
Yeah, for
people stream it
sure.
and spectate it, and you can make a lot of people get free content out of it, and it actually gives
Yeah.
people a reason to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to have stuff like that besides just the basic gameplay going on to like bring people in. And I think that they need something like that now outside of just being like, "Hey, this is what's going on." Like this is what we're doing. But yeah, I feel like it's a big game, but I feel like the community is tight and I just feel like they deserve some like we deserve more communication from the creators, from Epic, from whoever about just like what's going on because I'm sure they noticed the uproar. I'm sure they've seen, maybe heard a little bit.
Yeah, and
And communication goes a long way. I mean, in any relationship, they say communication is like the key, right? Like you just gotta keep talking, and it goes the same way, like professionally, business wise, gameplay.
yeah, and I mean, like, I still think that you can say something without actually saying anything, like a tweet
Yeah,
that says, "Hey, an announcement mid to late
yeah.
January for RLCS is coming. We're
Oh
still
my
wrapping up a
god.
few things." Like, that's not saying
Yes,
anything, but that's saying everything.
exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, we hear you.
We
We
haven't
see that
forgot
you're
about you.
upset. Yeah, we care. Like, please hold. Like, we've got stuff brewing. There's a method to our madness. But yeah, just to show that, like, hey, we hear you, and like we see how you feel about this, and this is just hold tight, like sit tight. But I promise we got you.
Yeah,
It's like yeah, that tells us nothing. You spill nothing. You're not spilling any beans, and you're letting people know that they're heard and their feelings are valid, because that's all anybody wants.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah. But I do a lot of talking with children, and that's like the biggest thing I've learned is like, if you just say, hey, like, it's okay to be mad about this. Like, it's okay to be mad. I hear you. But we're going to do this instead, et cetera, et cetera. But the acknowledging the emotions part, like, these people don't have kids, apparently, because they haven't learned that.
Well, I mean, hey, like I'm a big child. I play car
Right?
soccer for fun.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Treat us like the toddlers we are. Like,
give us Lightning McQueen.
it's okay. Give us Lightning McQueen and we'll be good. Give us some communication and maybe like some juice, apple juice. That's what my kid likes. I mean, something of that nature. That seems to be, I think that would work.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, I don't know why we're not running this show here.
Yeah, God, just
They
be
should
easier.
hire us.
They should.
Yeah, yeah. Psionics, if you're listening.
I'd love it if they were. That'd be kind of cool.
Hey, Psionics.
But I mean, hey,
Got some advice.
they've listened enough because they let me come to the events and interview people. So that's been a fun
Yeah,
time.
that's awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. I can't wait for the next event.
I'm so ready.
I when I met Kevin, we met like last September. So they, Worlds had just happened, and then he went to Rotterdam in December, and then I went with him to the LAN in April, and then he went to one of, he's told me about all of the trips he went on last year, and then all of the lands to come, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm excited. And now there's like, I'm like now into it. I'm streaming this game. I'm obsessed with it, and now there's nothing. And I'm
I
like,
know.
God damn.
We went from
I was
having so much
excited.
to having
I
like nothing.
know.
And
And I didn't get to go to the Boston land. So I was like, I wish I had gone now if I had known it was going to be like so much longer.
yeah, because you went to San Diego, didn't you?
I went to San Diego. I did.
Yeah.
That was my first land ever.
Okay.
And this is before I really played too.
Right.
But it was so much fun.
So, what did you think of that? I'm interested because if that one was your first LAN, it's a little bit different than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, so since that one had DreamHack, so everyone was like, this is a little different than normal because it was like part of DreamHack. But so that in itself was cool. But the Rocket League part of it was, I mean, I was just shocked at how, I don't want to say fancy, like that's not the right word, but like
The production
how much
quality.
of, yes, the production quality of the games themselves. Like I was riveted, like truly. And I really, like, at that time I really wasn't playing. Like I think maybe I'd like, can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I fucked around a little bit with the game, but like I had not really, I was not into it like I am now. So I like did not really know what was going on mostly. And but I like would sit there and watch, and it was so much fun. And then just meeting everybody else, meeting all the other content creators, meeting other people, like it was so much fun. It just made me want to be a part of this community.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
what is it like for you to meet some of the content creators and some of the, I guess, important people in the scene, being able to be there with Tryhouse?
I mean, I feel like I got to meet a lot of people who, I mean, I doubt I would have met if I was just like on my own. So that was nice. The nepotism there was nice. But I also don't feel like I understood the importance of some of the people I met, right?
Yeah.
And and like we're sitting at a table at the Airbnb one night, and like because we had parties there every night, and so one night I'm sitting there with John Sandman and like several other, I think, who else was sitting there? I'm not trying to name drop. I'm just trying to like
No, name drop if you got it.
explain, like I don't remember who else was sitting with us. I want to say it was Mush or somebody. Fuck, I don't remember. But there was a bunch of us sitting like at this table, and he's just like telling jokes, and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. Like I think I've heard Kevin talk about him, but like I have no idea. And then now that I'm like involved in this, I'm like, oh, John Sandman, like he's a goat. Like he's John Sandman. Like now I understand like the gravity of like who I was joking around at a table with. And it was just fucking awesome. Like everyone's so down to earth. But I also feel like it took away the intimidation factor, if that makes sense. Like
Oh, no, it
I
totally
got to
does.
meet all these people who, if I was like just entering the community on my own, I probably would have been super intimidated by. But like I got to meet them from a place of like, I'm just try houses, or I was fiance at the time, and I'm not a part of this. And so I felt like I could treat people like the people that they are and not the, you know, popular content creators they are. Because I would have been very intimidated and like shy and weird and awkward for sure.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. We
So
are on, I think, maybe a similar arc to you. My first RLCS LAN was Worlds in Dallas, so like
oh,
a little over a
awesome.
year ago, and then
Yeah.
in San Diego was the first time we were at an event and like we're able to have like media passes to like
Oh,
interview
that's so
people,
cool.
and I was like, you
Yeah.
know, like all the it's funny because like I've grown up playing, like I played Rocket League since it came out, and so I like
Hmm.
watch all the content creators and all these pros, and I'm like, I'm older than like all of you. Like, damn it, why am I so nervous to talk to
I know,
anybody?
right? That's the other thing. I'm like, I'm older than all these like teeny bopper 20-year-olds. But like, yeah, no, I totally get that though. I would have been the same way if I was in, in your shoes, like growing up watching these people. Like, it's just wild, especially the pro players. I'm like, these are actual children,
Yeah, no, it's wild.
actual children, and I'm so nervous.
It's like, oh my god, you're 16, like Zen, right? Like I got to talk to Zen at
Oh my
in
gosh.
Boston. We got to interview them a couple times, like part of
Hmm.
the media like experiences like we in Boston was different. I can explain that in a second, but
Yeah,
um like I got to talk to Vitality. I got to talk to like the top 4 teams.
that's
I
awesome.
took the picture that Vitality used on their socials of them holding the trophy in the press room because no one else was there to take it. Like it's like the kind of, I'm like, oh my god, did that really did that really happen? But
Oh
like,
my God.
Zen's 16 years old. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's
like
like it seems weird that you would be like nervous to meet somebody like that. Like, logically they're like, well, they're younger than me and like I don't know. Like that's not doesn't really matter, but I said totally get what you mean. Like it's just it's bizarre.
yeah, I, mean, I don't know if like imposter syndrome's like the right word or like just like
Yeah.
it. Like I mean, I still like fangirl over some of the people that I've gotten to talk to, right? Like so Tryhouse like
Yeah.
DM'd me back and I was like, holy shit. And I sent the screenshots to, the people that I do the podcast with, and everyone was super excited. And,
Yeah.
same with you. We got to
Oh.
talk to Stacks. We've talked to, some like Cat Jeans. I'm not she was with G1 before.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just,
yeah. I love cat jeans.
it's just like it's fun to be able to put out the content for people, but it's also just fun for me to talk to people.
Yeah, no, I think that you're in such a cool spot. I've always wanted to be like I am obsessed with podcasts. So like I eat, sleep, breathe podcasts probably. I always have an AirPod in my ear listening to something like when I'm at home doing stuff or when I can get away with it at work. I'm like listening to something while I'm doing, like the mundane things of my job. And so I've always been like I like fangirl over the podcast I listen to, but I've always been I think every day I'm like, well, what can I do? What kind of podcast do I want to do? Because I'm like I need to do a podcast, and I like will ask people to do them with me all the time, and we never really get off the ground, and so I think you're in such a cool position to be able to do this because like you get to meet everybody and like and make a podcast, like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun to be able to like just sit down and talk to people about Rocket League
Yeah.
because I enjoy it so much, but also at the same time,
Yeah.
like I do get to meet cool people. I get to talk to cool people, and
Yeah. It's an excuse to get to meet them. Like that's perfect.
exactly. And like our joke starting the podcast originally was like we're doing this for the VIP passes, and then like the first event after we started, they gave it to us, and I was like, oh no, what do we do now?
Oh shit. Wait, we actually have to do stuff. we, we gotta come up with questions and talk to people. Everyone be cool.
It's so weird how interviews like get easier over time too. Like you can kind of make them seem more like a conversation and less like here's a script of questions that I have.
Yeah.
Here are all the questions that ChatGPT told me to ask.
Yes. No, ChatGPT, man. That is the real MVP.
Yeah.
I almost said she. I feel like she's a she. She's a real MVP.
I feel like she is. I feel like ChatGPT has to be a girl. The communication skills are too good.
Too good. Exactly. Although, yeah, no, too good. I won't give away myself. And my sometimes poor community, because I feel like girls can sometimes be a little like what's the word?
Less direct.
Petty.
I was gonna be nicer.
Oh, you're gonna be nice. See, I was gonna be mean about myself. Yeah. No, but that's so cool. Yeah, you guys have you seem to have mastered that art of making it conversational, because I'm sure that's kind of awkward at first.
Yeah, and
like,
I mean
making it flow.
It's interesting for me because like Rizzo and Johnny Boy and CJ, they have like their podcast, and there's a couple other people. John Sandman did one for a little bit. Like people who are very prevalent in the scene and know a lot of people and are connected or have played professional Rocket League, whereas we haven't.
Yeah,
and I think that that's a different perspective, and I like the wide breadth of people that we've gotten to talk to. It's not talking to all the pros or talking to casters. It's talking to people who have different perspectives and experiences.
No, that's a really unique like take that you have there, because I mean, yeah, that's so true. Because obviously you'd have a podcast talking to pros and casters and like big people in the scene, but there's so many other people that make Rocket League, and that's people like normies who play the game, low level streamers like me,
all the grand
and then Tryhouse, and yeah, the supersonic silvers. So yeah, that's where I hang out eternally, I think, at this point.
That's some of the most fun though.
Okay, so everyone says that, and I'm like, I'm not having fun. I can't get off I can barely hit the damn ball. So everyone's like, oh, silver's so fun. Or when they come in my stream, they're like, oh, I remember this, like reminiscing on the good old days. And I'm like, are these the good old days? Because like I'm having fun, but like I recognize that there's so much more that I want to be able to do, and I'm not doing those things. So because of that, I'm like having less fun, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, it's like the
I just have
forest
like
for the trees.
Yeah, like I have high standards for myself that I'm not getting to, and I would love to get there. So so I'm like, that affects my opinion on my level of fun, I guess. Because I'm like, I should be better than this. Just a little type A, I guess.
Oh no, everyone's like that. But also, you have the greatest built-in excuse. You don't even have to blame your teammates. You can just blame Tryhouse.
Exactly. That's my default. It's like if it's not my internet, I blame Tryhouse just generally for being Tryhouse, or it's because he's streaming on like 14 platforms whilst I'm also streaming and trying to play Rocket League, and so I'm like getting the bare bits of internet that's left basically. So I blame him for that. Yeah, but I'm like, otherwise it's just Tryhouse's fault. It's just for him existing, I think.
But circling back to San Diego and LANs, do you have a favorite memory of a LAN that you've been to?
So I feel like since I've only been to one, I feel like some of my number one favorite memory, I have to say, which I told Kevin, after I listened to y'all's episode with him, and I immediately texted him and I was like, why was your favorite LAN memory not when you proposed to me at LAN? And he was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So I just want to point that out, that I like immediately called him out for that.
I thought of that as soon as he did that. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you? I was there.
He was like, well, it wasn't really at LAN. It was like at the Airbnb. And I'm like, yeah, but we were there for the LAN. Like, we'll remember why we were there.
It was on social media. There were pictures of you at the event with the ring.
Yeah. People we talked about it. That was like the thing that everybody talked to when we met them over the weekend. It was like, congratulations. So I'm like, how could you not associate that with the LAN? Anyway, so that's probably will forever be my favorite moment of LAN is I was like sitting on the couch eating Taco Bell next to Candy Colonel, and then and I saw him being sus with our friend, like taking him into our room to show him something, and it was weird, and I went to go see what it was, and he was like, get out, get out, get out. And
Oh
I was like, okay.
no.
And I sat down on the couch with Candy again, and I was like, I'm gonna go look again. And he was showing him the ring.
Oh no.
So I ruined my own surprise because he was gonna do it like on stream during one of the parties like that weekend. And I was like, oh my God, I like had a caught a vibe that this was what was going on, but I didn't want to. I like didn't really. I like thought, but I didn't think, right? Like I was like, surely that's not what's happening. Like he had told me previously he wouldn't do it while we were in San Diego. And so I like believed that and moved on with my life. And so I felt so bad when he was like, do you just want it now? I was like, wait, is this what we're doing? I was just eating Taco Bell on the couch with Candy Colonel.
Holy deja vu.
What the hell? So, but yeah, that's like, I feel like I have to say that that's my favorite moment, and it is. But also like just meeting everybody and like all of the parties that we had was just like, it was so fun to see people just like not there, like, I feel like at the LAN everyone's like not trying to be like a different version of themselves, but like
They're being their public person.
they're being their public person, and I feel like people relaxed a little bit more outside of that, and it was just fun to see like everybody mingling together. Like it was such a great time. And then they were throwing the dildo onto the window, and that was just a hoot and a half for everybody. I don't know if you remember any of that.
I
There was a
had
dildo
some,
named Greg.
Yep. So I had some friends that were some people that I know that went to some of those parties. I did not, but
You should have come.
I
You
should have.
should have come. You missed out on the dildo named Greg. They were launching it at the window. It was all over the Twitter, or the X.
It's still
as
Twitter.
It's called now.
It's gonna be Twitter.
It's still
forever.
Twitter. Yeah, fuck X, man. God, fuck Elon Musk. Stupid ideas. But yeah, so I mean, that was fun. But it was fun. I got to meet all these people that I had just like talked to and seen online. And so like, cause we stayed in a house with Mush, with Katrina, what's his name? Spook Luke was in the house next door, Tenacity. So it was like all these people that I've seen and heard Kevin talk about. I've watched their streams. I've been in their chats, whatever, and just to see them like in real life and meet them, and it was just so much fun. Like it was such a cool experience. I wish I had been more interested in it at the time, because it would have like meant, I don't know, not that it means anything less, but I feel like I would have been like way more fangirly.
Maybe it was better that you weren't.
Maybe it is. Exactly. I got to just be my normal, because that would have been weird. It would have been weird as fuck. So I got to be my normal self, and hopefully they thought I was not weird.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have freaked out too. So maybe it was better that I didn't go.
Right. No, it was so much fun. And then they would like I met like the first day we were at in San Diego, we went to, what was it, like G1's watch party or something, and we were at the bar, and I was sitting next to somebody, and he said something to me, and I like just, he would ask a question like about something bar related, I don't know, and I was just like, oh yeah, I like that dude over there or something. I was like pointing to the bartender, and then Kevin leaned over and was like, oh, that's Musty, and I was like, who? And he was like, Musty, like the Musty, like the mechanic in the game. And I was like, oh shit, Musty. Oh shit. I looked at him and I was like, oh, that's not what I thought like he would look like, but that's cool. And I was just like, I would have lost my shit if I had been like a way bigger, Rocket League fan at that point. Like I would have been like, I would have died for sure.
Yeah.
But I was just like casually answered a question, and I was like, oh, is he like the Taylor Swift of Rocket League? And he was like, basically. I was like, well, shit. Damn.
So I was actually going to ask some questions about it, but you gave me a good segue there. I know you're a big Taylor Swift fan. Did you go to any of the Eras tour?
I did. I went to her show here in Arlington, Texas, back in April, like the week before not Boston, San Diego,
Right.
like the week before. And so I went there, and I'm going with a bunch of some friends I made online from Rocket League. We're all going to see her in Toronto. We have floor seats for next year.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
me, I don't know if you know Widow, Lexi the Turtle, and then our other friend, Maddie. I don't know I forgot what her gamer name is, but
I mean,
yeah, we're all going.
I've interacted with all of them
next.
on Twitter, but yeah.
Yeah. What is her thing? Her Mads something, whatever. But yeah. So we're going to see her again next year. And obviously I've seen the movie only once so far. I feel ashamed by that, honestly.
My wife is in the same boat. She went in Chicago. A bunch of her with her roommate from college, where we live in like the Detroit area, and that show was like way too expensive. And
yeah.
So she got tickets for Chicago, and then she's seen the movie once, and she's got plans next weekend to go see it again. So,
oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, I've indoctrinated my children. All we listen to is I'm currently wearing a 1989 crew neck as we speak. Yeah, I'm huge. My name ReputayJen is like a play on Reputation.
I was going to ask about that.
Yep. That's my favorite. I'm a Reputation girly, so that's my favorite album.
Is that your favorite era?
That is my favorite era. Yeah, I love it. She's like, it's like her villain era, and I love that. I stay in my villain era.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what were your surprise songs in Arlington?
Oh my God. I
know you know it.
Swiftie.
Oh.
I forgot one of them. I forgot. Okay, one of them was Jump Then Fall, and I forgot what the other one was. Hold on, I have to Google it real quick because I am. Don't tell anybody.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Surprise songs night 3, Arlington, Texas. Oh, and I missed Death by a Thousand Cuts by One Night, and that was just such a good song. Okay, she said Jump Then Fall, and then The Lucky One. See, I'm not, that's a skip for me, The Lucky One. So that's why I don't remember it.
That's fair. And my wife was underwhelmed by hers too. That she sang the one from 50 Shades of Grey when she was in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
that was a skip.
She's like, that wasn't my favorite. I'm like, yeah, but like it's memorable. Like she's only gonna do that. She's probably only gonna do that once.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled. I really wanted Death by a Thousand Cuts. That's a top 10 for sure. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what the surprise songs will be by the time we see her again next November, because I mean, who knows, we might have Reputation Taylor's version by then. There could be a whole other album out by then, and we could have a whole other era with songs ready. So
yeah. And I mean, hey, if the Rocket League community were as into their Sherlock Holmes as some of the Swifties, we'd know everything.
I know. Maybe that's what they need to do, because I feel like a lot of what the way Taylor Swift has gotten so many fans is by all of these Easter eggs she drops, and it like gives you a reason to engage with other fans, with her. You know what I mean? I feel like they need to take Taylor Swift's approach and just start dropping Easter eggs and stuff like in the game, on Twitter, online, everywhere, just literally anywhere. Just start saying random stuff and let us just interpret it.
Hey, I mean, it's worked. It's worked wonders for her.
It has. It brings a community together, I think. So that's my advice for them.
Yeah.
Be like Taylor Swift. Get some Taylor Swift songs in this game.
I mean, even the NFL's trying to do it, right?
Exactly. They see the benefit of it and they're just jumping right on it. I saw they asked the Chiefs coach today, like of course they asked him like what he thinks about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And he's like, I'm just glad he finds someone he likes and she found someone she likes. Like it was the most unbothered response. Like he could not care less. Like if
That's
you
like
paid
a
him
raving
money.
review from him though. He doesn't talk, he doesn't show a lot of
That's
emotion.
what someone else said. They were like, that's a lot. That's saying a lot from him. But I'm like, that is just like the most unbothered. He's like, I don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, like, and then, you know, we're talking about the NFL. I'll keep it going here. Did you see any of the TikToks or any of the clips from the South American show where Travis was there?
Yes. Did I see them? The Not a Taylor Swift group chat. That's what our group chat is called. Me and the girls who are going to see Taylor next year. It's called Not a Taylor Swift group chat because Lexi the turtle went into Try House's channel and he says like, are you in that Taylor Swift group chat with my wife? And she goes, it's not a Taylor Swift group chat. So now it's called Not a Taylor Swift group chat. Sorry, quick side quest for the backstory there. But it was let's just say the group chat was blowing up when she said Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. Like hit the look on his face because everyone got video of it from different angles, and then she ran after him and gave him a kiss in front of everybody. Like it was a big event in the Swiftie world, to say the least.
I still liked her dad's reaction the best.
No. Her dad is so pure. I love her parents so much.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a lanyard, a Chiefs lanyard. Like he's all in. They're down bad for Travis Kelce. The whole family.
I mean, I haven't seen someone manifest something so crazy since Tom Holland.
I know. And like this just shows me that like stay delulu about things, you know? Stay delusional cuz you never know. So I'm going to start manifesting wildly.
Hey, that's what I've been doing since I started this podcast.
Yeah, right? Just manifest wildly. Travis Kelce has showed us you can do it. You never fucking know. So I say just live your dreams, go for them. Manifest. It could happen. So now I'm manifesting SSL this season.
Oh, easy. Easy.
Yeah, we'll see about that one.
But that was I knew I had to ask about Taylor Swift. I had heard that was one of the reasons that why your name was what it is, but I needed to find out.
Yep, it sure is. Kevin told me, he's like, don't bring up Taylor Swift in your interview, and I was like, I would never do that, and then I absolutely did do that.
Oh no, I did. I brought it up. We're good.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
You mentioned it. It's in my
I mentioned it.
It's in my notes here.
Suck it, Kevin.
Because
he'll listen to this, right?
your tweets come up on the
oh my
the
God.
podcast Twitter, and it's a lot of Taylor Swift stuff, which is funny because I try to because you tweet about it really quick, and I try and catch my wife. I'm like, oh, did you hear? And she's like, I've known that for hours. I'm like, dang it, I thought I was being I thought I was being quick.
I need to retweet faster for you then. I can do that. I feel like I'm failing. Yeah, my Twitter is occasionally there's like literally no Rocket League on it. It's just a Taylor Swift news update. That's pretty much it. And then me trying to troll Kevin. I just try to troll him as much as possible on Twitter.
I mean, I feel like that's got to be a lot of fun.
It is so much fun. It is so much fun. I live for it.
But yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, RLCS is in off season right now. Taylor's not in the off season right now.
Oh no,
so
she's so on season.
She's
on season. She's been on season since the San Diego land.
Yeah.
That girl does not take a day off. So yeah, I mean, we got to do something with our time, and I have nothing else to look forward to at the moment. So, well, that's that close. So
fair.
I just watch her grainy live streams from my phone.
Yeah,
while there's no
TikTok,
RLCS.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I know
well,
exactly
there's
how
a
it goes.
Twitch account. There's a Twitch account I follow. It's like folkloric or something. and that's like one of the best live streams they have.
Interesting.
Of the show. So I subbed to that. I was at tier 1, I think, for a little while. Well, like back in this or until she like her North America tour, part of the tour ended.
Right.
Because I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch this grainy live stream of a concert I've already seen every weekend for the foreseeable future.
Hey, that's fair. So then that does bring up a question. Do you listen to music when you play Rocket League?
I don't. So when I stream, I do. But if I'm playing by myself, I listen to podcasts.
Oh man, interesting.
I know. And I like listening to music. Like I have a playlist like that I like to listen to with Rocket League and like, but I usually gravitate to like watching my trash television or listening to a podcast, which I know is weird.
Interesting. Because I was gonna say, do you listen
Yeah.
to Taylor Swift when you play Rocket League? I figured that would be like the next like logical step, but
I do sometimes. It just depends on the mood, but yeah, more likely than not, it's a murder podcast or a ghost podcast. Yeah.
I know firsthand how that goes. It's almost identical. But I mean, like for me, like I have a Stream Deck and I have like a button on there. I press it and it boots up Rocket League, Bacchus Mod, Gift Your Game, and Spotify. Like I listen to something when I'm playing, just to like, turn off chat, listen to music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta listen to something, but yeah, it's definitely about like, it's definitely my favorite podcast, probably Two Girls, One Ghost, talking about ghost stories.
So
Playing car soccer.
yeah. So speaking of ghosts, and maybe eventually we'll get back to Rocket League, but do you watch much YouTube on ghost hunting?
I don't really watch YouTube videos ever. Like I don't have the attention span to watch anything more than like a TikTok at this point.
But you listen to
But
podcasts.
but I can do other things while I'm doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's hard to
Okay.
like watch a video. Like I think I'm just become like, in that, what is that movie Wall-E, where people just end up being like blobs and like that the like seats that float around,
Yeah.
like, and they just like go to get food and then they float away in their seats and they can't walk or anything. I feel like that is where, like, in terms of like that's how society went for them, that I feel like I'm just following the natural progression of like attention span from like that social media has kind of conditioned us to. So I have a hard time. Like Kevin always wants me to watch his videos and I don't even watch his YouTube videos. Don't tell him I said that.
You can mark them as played.
I can't sit. Yeah, I can't sit and like watch them. I'm like, that was so good, baby. Good job. Yay.
Hey, also
But
if you get YouTube Premium, you can watch with
Mhm.
your phone screen off, so you can listen to it like a podcast.
Okay, bet I'll have to do that because I like to listen to it, but I just have a hard time watching. But I know there's like somebody I've been wanting to watch though that does a lot of like investigational stuff. I don't know if it's like Zach and Colby.
Sam and Colby.
Sam and Colby. I knew it was like a 3-letter word. I've been really wanting to watch Sam and Colby because I've heard good things about them.
My wife just watched through, like, for Halloween. They always do like a bunch of videos for that week leading up to Halloween.
Yeah.
They did a week in the Conjuring house.
Oh, that's amazing. I just went to go see my favorite podcast live. They were just here in Dallas, Two Girls, One Ghost. And so they just did a live show, and their live show was based on their experience staying at the Conjuring house for like a night. They did like an overnight investigation there, but like a whole week. Like, okay, I have to go watch that. I'll probably sit and watch that one. Actually,
I think it was like three videos.
That's amazing. I've heard their stuff is really good.
I mean, the production quality is really high, and they have like Call Me Chris, who she's on TikTok, and some other people.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to do some like ghost investigations. I tried to get people to go with me to the Whaley house when we were in San Diego, and nobody took my offer. I was like,
nobody bit.
You don't want to go see, like, possibly get haunted? No.
You're lost.
You're lost, a loser. I mean, like, meanwhile, we were staying in like the Airbnb was a it was like an old church that had been renovated into a like an Airbnb, but it used to be it had like I think it had like stained glass windows. Like it was an old I don't remember how old it was, like 100-year-old church, I think, that they had like moved and renovated, whatever. And the first thing I asked was it haunted? And they said they didn't know. And so I would have taken that as a yes, but I did not experience any supernatural entities while we were there, much to my dismay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but
So
hey.
next land, I'm putting it out there. Anyone wants to go ghost hunting with me, like I'm your girl. Let's go find some haunted stuff.
There's the
Hoping this,
episode. Come
yeah,
ghost hunting with us.
that's it. Yeah,
There's
we
the
went from
episode
Rocket
name.
League to this.
Okay.
Yeah, come ghost hunting with ReputayJen. It's gonna be a blast. You might get haunted, and maybe it'll help your MMR. I don't know.
I mean, it can't hurt.
It can't hurt. You know, it could hurt. You could get hurt, but let's just go with it can't hurt
Yeah.
because I want people to go.
Fair.
I will lie to them.
But so the next LAN, I believe that it's going to be in the US is what I've heard. I'm hopeful that it is, because that I could get to go, which would be fun.
Yes, same.
Is there something like, do you like, if you could pick where it went, where would you pick?
I'm trying to think of somewhere I haven't been.
Yeah, because it's like, it'd be cool
I'd
if it
wanna
it
go.
was by your house, right? Because you wouldn't have to pay to travel, but also at the
Oh,
same
hell
time,
yeah.
it's like cool to
It's fun to travel.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to go somewhere else. I mean, I think like have they done one in Miami or something? Like that would be fun. I've never been to Miami, and then it seems like that would be a good vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I also,
Yeah.
it's been a little bit since it's been in the Midwest. I feel like I could see like maybe a Chicago.
That's true. I'd be down for Chicago. A Vegas would be fun.
It would be.
Because I've still never been to Vegas. We were gonna go to TwitchCon, and then we both had stuff going on that weekend, and we couldn't go. I was seeing Two Girls One Ghost. That's why I couldn't go. And so I've never been to Vegas, and I was hoping that we were gonna get to. So I vote Vegas or Miami, or Chicago would be awesome.
I mean, I feel like if they're gonna announce RLCS like mid to late January, I feel like that puts the first LAN probably end of February, beginning of March, right? And it's still like kind of cold, so like maybe you do a warm weather,
yeah.
Or you just
Have
lean
they
in.
done one in New York? Like that would be fun.
Yeah, I don't think
We
so.
need a Big Apple one.
I also feel like you could have a cool one in like, a smaller city like Cleveland, because then you could get like you could do, it's like maybe a little bit harder to get to, but like you could do a bigger event there because there's less like things there, and it's like cheaper to get like housing and all that stuff.
Yeah. I went to like this true crime podcast convention in Columbus last year. And we were like, like the podcast itself was based out of New York. And so we were like, but we're going to Columbus, but it was like the cheapest one. And it was like more affordable for everybody. And it was so fucking awesome. Like I never would have, like Columbus would not have been my first choice of somewhere to go. But I was so glad we went there because I mean, the weather was nice and it was affordable. Like it was not expensive at all. And where they had it, like where the convention center was, and like the hotel, like it was just so easy to get around. So 10 out of 10 recommend Columbus. So I bet Cleveland is probably right up that alley as well.
Fair. So I'll start, like I got a couple more questions. I'll start wrapping it up because we've been talking for about over an hour now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're not keeping me from anything. But
okay, good.
I like to, like we talked a little bit earlier, I like to continue to improve. Do you have any goals for yourself for this year, for next year in Rocket League, or just like in general in life?
I mean, for Rocket League, definitely like I would love to get out of silver, man. I just love to get out of silver. If I could just be gold, I would be happy. And I'd love to get off the ground. That's my goal. Get off the ground. Like hit a ball in the air consistently. Actually, let's scratch that. I'm gonna just stop. Hit the ball into the goal when I want to when I intend to do it.
That's a good one.
I have my goals are very very small, but it's a foundation, right? I'm still building that foundation.
Yeah, but hey, attainable goals.
Yeah.
And then I'll put all of your social media links in the episode description. Is there
Awesome.
anything that you feel like plugging? Anything that you're doing right now or working on?
Just like the streams. I'm trying to get a consistent stream schedule going. Like trying to do Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. Because I work weekends. But just like the stream, like come hang out. I feel like we have a good vibe and we have a lot of fun. If you like mediocre gameplay and
Mediocre
good
gameplay, but even
vibes.
better company.
But better company, then you're in the right place. So, or if you just want to like feel better about your own gameplay, my stream is a great place for you to do that. For sure. You'll feel better about yourself once you watch me play. I promise. It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, I encourage. Like I said, I'll put all the links in the episode description.
Yeah.
And there's one question that we always have to ask everybody who comes on to do an
Okay.
episode with us. When is the best time to go for boost over ball?
When you should be defending your goal.
That's a fantastic answer.
Yeah. When you should absolutely not go for boost over ball. That's when you should do it.
Yeah, that's the only time to do it.
That's the only time. When the ball is heading towards your goal, now's the time to get that corner boost.
Yeah, Stack said something similar. He said you got to have 100 boosts to celebrate with the other team.
Exactly. You can't be left out with like 5 of boost. Like, God, that's embarrassing.
I know. Come on. If the
Fill up
100 is
that
sitting
boost
right there, they
meter.
wouldn't have put it so close to the net if they didn't want you to
don't
go
leave
get
it
it.
out. Exactly.
Yeah, but thank you so much for making the time to come in to talk to me. This has been a lot of fun. It's certainly a very different episode than I was originally anticipating, but it flowed better than most interviews that we've done, and I really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for having me. It was an honor that you even asked, so I appreciate it. And I had so much fun chatting with you.
Awesome. Well, with that, thank you guys again for listening, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to that interview with ReputayJen. We hope you thoroughly enjoyed it as much as we did. And don't forget to check out our social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, Twitch, and more. All can be found on our website at www.boostoverball.com. Make sure to check out our new tab in there for our merch. We've added some new merchandise items that we think you will really enjoy. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, www.boostoverball.com, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.